Delhi has been hit hard by the layoffs announced by Jet Airways. Of the 1,900 employees that have been sacked, at least 200 are from Delhi.
Now, Jet claims that these 200 employees were on probation and were not permanent employees. The layoffs come as Jet enters a new tap with arch rival Kingfisher Airlines, which has also been in some financial trouble.
And the news of these layoffs has, of course, created a panic all across the capital.
Especially at training colleges for air hostesses and stewards, Metronation's Nandini Sarkar shares the tension.
Ankit has just graduated with a diploma in aviation and hospitality management. The course cost him 1,48,000 rupees, not a small amount for the 20-year-old's family. And now, there's the sinking feeling. The time and money have both been wasted.
अभी हॉस्पिटलिटी वैकेंसीज बहुत कम आती हैं रिगार्डिंग द एविएशन सेक्टर क्योंकि हमें बोला गया था कि दे आर वैकेंसीज इन 2010 यू विल गेट 40,000 वैकेंसीज फॉर द कैबिन क्रू. तो अभी फ़िलहाल कोई वैकेंसीज नहीं है. हमारा 2 years डिप्लोमा कोर्स ओवर हो गया है. वी डिडंट गेट एनी कोई भी हमें वैकेंसी नहीं मिली एयरलाइंस के बारे में. रही बात जेट के बारे में, कई सारे रूमर्स मिलते हैं कि जेट कैंडिडेट्स को बहुत मुश्किल से सिलेक्ट करता है. जैक लगती है बहुत, ब्ला ब्ला ब्ला, बहुत सारे स्टफ्स मिले सुनने के लिए. किंगफिशर लड़कों को लेता नहीं है. तो यहाँ पे जितने भी लड़के आए हुए थे जिन्होंने कोर्स किया हुआ था वो सब वर्ड यही थे क्योंकि इंडिया में सिर्फ 2 ही एयरलाइंस हैं, जेट और किंगफिशर. बेसिकली इंडिगो एयर है मुझसे ऑलरेडी किंगफिशर के पास हैं ही हैं और जेट ही लेती है लड़कों को. और अब वो भी किंगफिशर के साथ मर्ज हो रही है. तो बेसिकली हम लोगों का जो बॉयज़ हैं जो फ्लाइट सूट बनना चाहते हैं उनके लिए बहुत दिक्कत हो रही है. दैट विल बी एबल टू प्लेस और नॉट. हमारे पेरेंट्स सेम क्वेश्चंस पूछते हैं दैट व्हेन यू विल बी गेट प्लेस्ड. हमारी जब अपनी फैकल्टी से पूछते हैं दे हैव नो आंसर.
The glamour of hotel stays, international flights, duty-free shopping have meant this institute and all its 49 branches have 250 new students every year.
Definitely people were inclined to get into this sector, but this kind of news spreading all across and happening may affect little, but maybe for a month or two. It's a very short memory people have it.
At the age of 18, Payal finds it easy to be optimistic. And students hope for a dramatic turnaround by the time they are done with their course.
Obviously, I have the mindset that they doesn't, just train on your aviation thing. They also train on your hospitality, BPOs, I mean for the whole service industry. And as far as these news are concerned, I don't have any apprehensions as because ups and downs is a part of every industry.
You can see Vijay Mallya, he has also said that he'll be buying 90 aircrafts from 2009 to 2013. So you can see for that 90 aircrafts, he needs cabin crew. So that there is a hope. So it's not all gone down.
The tremors brought about by the worst downturn in the aviation industry has left these students worried, whose prime concern now is their placement. With camera person Surinder Pawar in New Delhi, Nandini Sarkar for NDTV.
So now joining us to discuss the future of the aviation industry, with us on the Metronation bus, Mr. Subhash Goyal. He's the chairman of the SOCHAM Expert Committee on Aviation and Tourism. Thank you, sir, very much for joining us on Metronation. First let's just talk about these 1,900 people who've been laid out just overnight. They've been de-rostered. They don't know what to do. They've lost their job. Was this the right way to go about it?
It is very unfortunate, and it has been done all of a sudden. There could have been a better way, but I don't know because if they were on probation and what the
they were on probation,
the rules were. But the fact is that you see, we opened the skies. We had a vision. We had a long-term plan that how it will have a multiplier effect. More airlines will come in, and it will be cheaper for the consumer, and it will have a multiplier. We'll create more jobs. Millions of jobs more will be created, and this could have happened if the government had an integrated approach. Today, it is such a tragedy that the aviation minister of the same government is not able to convince the petroleum and the finance minister of the same government to reduce the aviation tax on aviation turbine fuel. 24% of the direct operating cost of all these airlines is ATF.
In fact, it's interesting that you mention it because all these employees now are in fact looking to the center for some kind of help, and there are divisions within the government on this front.
No, because what needs to be done is we need to put our house in order. We have to have, the government has to have, the right hand of the government should know what the left hand is doing. I mean, every ministry acts in isolation is not done. I mean, you can't waste the taxpayers' money. Both the airlines were bleeding. Okay, strategic alliance is fine. But at the same time, the government, instead of giving financial bailout, has to think of tax relief that can be done.
But in aviation industry, everybody wanted to be a part of this growing industry, but now that bubble seems to have burst.
No, bubble has not burst.
Okay.
See, in every business cycle there are ups and downs. It's a temporary phase. We'll come out of it. More new players will come in. We still have, a segment of the industry which is ready for low-cost carriers. I mean, carriers like SpiceJet are doing well. They will improve their thing. But the most important thing is aviation turbine fuel.
Okay.
You see, and why doesn't the government, there is no coordination between center and state. It's such a tragedy. Now, if that is done, that would solve 50% of the problem.
Now, these job layoffs have been mainly executed because to save costs and cut down on flap, as the owners of the airlines are saying. Couldn't there have been any other ways to cut down losses on these two airlines which have just joined hands?
No, there are many other ways. You see, like they have done this rationalization of routes, this should have been done earlier. You see, we have Aviation Regulatory Authority, which is known as Director General Civil Aviation. In earlier days, every fare that was filed used to be filed with DGCA and all route rationalization was taking place. Now there has been a tremendous overcapacity on the Bombay route. All the airlines were flying empty, half empty. And just to keep their egos or just to keep their announcements, it was a criminal waste of aviation fuel, which is a diminishing resource of the world. So what is needed today is not financial bailouts. What is needed is that all segments, center and state, the finance ministry, the petroleum ministry, the aviation ministry, the tourism ministry need to get together and they have to find out ways where they can save jobs.
Right.
And at the same time, you see, on one side we went on a shopping spree and we bought hundreds of new aeroplanes, and today Air India, about 10 to 15 aeroplanes have grounded.
Right.
Which is again a criminal waste of money, of the taxpayers' money. Now there is no accountability of what is happening, and with the result that the honest taxpayer is paying the taxes and it is being
In fact, even within airlines,
squandered by wasteful government expenditure.
In fact, even within airlines now, we have an Naresh Goyal and Vijay Mallya coming together, but we also have a Captain Gopinath of Air Deccan saying that, I'm not really happy with this alliance and I would rather now buy back
So the government should force, if they need money, then let them, if Captain Gopinath is willing to give the money and he has foreign investors who are willing to back him up, then take that money rather than the taxpayers' money of the government. Why should the government pay money to bail them out?
One final question, sir. Is there any hope for these people who lost their jobs overnight? They say that the airline industry, the future looks bleak. There are no more jobs because these two airlines have joined hands. Now there are not as many jobs for them.
I don't think so. You see, because the exports are going up. With the depreciation of the rupee, exports are going to go up. Captain Gopinath himself is thinking of starting a cargo airline. There are one or two more cargo airlines that are coming in. There are some other passenger airlines that are coming in. There are some international airlines who want to fly into India because we have an open sky with all the ASEAN countries. So I say that the future is bright. There is a temporary phase. In every industry there are ups and downs. I mean, we are going through a bad patch, but 2010 the Commonwealth Games are there. If you see the economy, Indian economy is not that bad. I mean, if you go to any 5-star hotel today, it's full. You go to any restaurant, it's full.
Right.
So people have money, people want to travel, and the only thing is that we need to have a long-term, transparent aviation policy which should be integrated with the tourism, with the petroleum, the finance, so that low-cost carriers, we don't have a separate terminal, we don't have low fees, landing fees.
Right.
Mr.
There are
Goyal,
so many costs
you've made some very
which
valid
need
points.
to be reduced,
And hopefully,
the country's aviation industry can be saved.
well, hopefully the government is going to focus on all the points that you've made, given that general elections are also next year. Hopefully they will focus on these points and not just focus on...
I hope.
Thanks a lot, sir, for joining us.
Goyal,
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Very much.
Well.